In this lesson, we're going to be learning The Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young. Pretty simple tune, really. Just kind of really it's really one chord progression throughout the entire tune. Pretty much the same strumming pattern. A few little articulations in there that are cool. But overall, I think it's a tune you can definitely get. So let's go over the chords first. We got D. It's based out of D, D major. Then we're gonna need, this D is just gonna the bass is gonna kind of move, so we'll go over that when we go over the intro, but you're gonna need D, C, F. We're gonna play the F like this. You can reach over and grab the root if you want, but you don't need to, so I'm just borrowing first and second finger fret on the B and E strings, then second fret, third fret, third fret. Then we need an E sus4 chord. So that's like an E major, add your pinky right there on the second fret of the G string. And then a regular E major chord. Now to get you all the chords for the tune, for the most part. Okay, so let's get right into the intro. Well, actually, let's talk about the strumming pattern. It's really eighth notes all the way through. It's gonna be down on the lower strings, up on the higher strings. Just like that. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, when you're strumming on this, you don't have to be so particular about which strings you're hitting. You just want some lower strings on the downstroke and higher strings on the upstroke, okay? A couple places you might have to be more particular, but. So let's take a look at the first bar on D, okay? So we have low string, definitely the open D, and then an upstroke on the kind of the high E and B strings, but if you get other ones, that's fine. Then you go back to the D. Now you're gonna take your second finger off and play a D sus2 chord. Like that. And then the last one is, you're basically picking the B and G strings. Sorry. Twice, so. Okay, then we're gonna move to this C over D. So all you're gonna do, you're gonna leave your first and third fingers right where they're at, and you're going to move your second finger up here to the third fret of the A string to play a C, okay? Strum pattern here, same thing. Now we're gonna go B and G strings first, then grab the high E and B, like that. So the first upstroke is more the B and G string, the second one is more the high E and B, and then the third and fourth of the bar are B and G again, so. Okay, then you're gonna do the same exact thing, but you're gonna move this back. So now, you're gonna move your first finger up to the second fret, A string, okay? And then you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna move it back one more to B flat. Okay, so whole thing. And that's like the first 4 bars of your intro, okay? In context, Okay, then we're going to go to a C chord, or C, and we got this little bass line in here. It sounds like this. Sorry. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is hit the low, the root note, that's the A string. Then you're going to hit an upstroke on the, high E, B, and G string. Then you're going to do a hammer-on the second fret of the D string. Like that. Then you're going to hit the G string by itself, alternated by the B and E strings. Then another hammer on the second fret of the G string. Then the third fret G string. Then back. Then open. Then third fret D string. All alternated by these upstrokes on the high E and B string. So we have like that. So far we have okay, then excuse me, we go to E sus4 chord, okay? Go ahead and play your E major because you're just going to be taking your pinky off. Add your pinky. And this is going to be G string, high notes, D string, high notes, A string, high notes, E string, high notes. Roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. Like that. Then you're going to take your pinky off and do the same thing. But on the last one, you're just going to hit open A, and that leads us back into the main chord progression, okay? So that's... And then we're back to D, okay? That's your whole intro. So let's take a listen to that. Sorry. Now we're into the verse section. Verse section, same exact chord progression, but we don't need to worry as much about which strings we're hitting. We're just going to do down, up, 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 down, up. And then when you get to the C, it's just down, up. The downs on the lower strings, the ups on the higher strings. And then the F. And these are all for a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we go to our E sus4. And it's the same kind of thing as in the intro here. Now when you get to the E, we have a little riff here. We're going to hit low E, then the upper strings, the higher strings. Then we're going to do a hammer-on the second fret of the A string. Then a upstroke on the higher strings. Sorry. Then we're going to slide from the second fret to the fourth fret on the D string. All alternated by the higher strings. And then it goes back to the verse, okay? So let's hear a whole verse in context. And it just goes right back into it. And then I think it goes back into a intro there. So we got intro, you played through the verse twice, I believe. Let's see if that's correct. Yep. Then you play the intro again, then you have another verse, and then all you have left is this outro, which is just a variation of the intro, okay? So on the outro, it's just going to sound like a little bit different. So you're going to do regular D, then take your second finger off, then put it back on, and then take it off again. So you're just alternating. Then on the C over D, it's going to be so it's just root note, B and G, root note, high E and B, alternated. Same thing on the G over B. And then on the last chord, that's how it ends. You're just going to, both upstrokes on the high E and B string. And that's how it ends. So it's like that. And that's the whole tune. So let me just kind of play through the intro and the verse a couple times so you can hear what it's supposed to sound like. Always good to listen to the original recording. One more thing I wanted to talk about just stylistically with Neil Young. A lot of times on those low notes, he's almost kind of half palm muting them. You know, it's not so much, you know, like that. It's kind of now we're in the verse. My palm's just kind of bouncing off those lower strings. Another verse. you have it. That's The Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young.